ADHD, that's just for kids, right? Wrong. This video is about adult ADHD, how going without treatment can seriously mess up our lives, and what making ADHD your superpower might look like. I'm Liam. It's my goal to help struggling creatives take aim and action on their passion projects. Like your head exploding in the vacuum of space, it is a myth that ADHD is something you will grow out of. With hard work, luck, and strategy, we may acquire the illustrious title of being adults who are young at heart. Or if things don't work out so well, we can be pinned down by innumerable disparaging descriptors. It's estimated that 4.4% of adults in the USA qualify for an ADHD diagnosis. ADHD is a developmental disorder, so if you have it at 50, you had it when you were born. That said, it's not unusual for people to go a lifetime without diagnosis. ADHD wasn't even named until 1987, and had little public awareness until the 90s, so anyone over 50 likely made it through school before the condition was commonly recognized. All those report cards you got saying,
"Liam seems very bright and has a lot of potential, if only he would apply himself and focus,"
and similar records of behavior serve as evidence of undiagnosed ADHD. This could explain why adults are currently being diagnosed at 4 times the rate of youth. Even still, stigma and misunderstandings can get you through school without a diagnosis. At 26, upon learning about ADHD, I told my parents, who told their neighbor, who was my former high school principal, that I thought I had ADHD.
"You're surprised?"
He laughed. My impulsive serial entrepreneur parents were indeed surprised. I made it to adulthood without a diagnosis, probably because no one wants to be the one who says,
"Hey, I think there's something wrong with your kid."
Until leaving the routine and structured lifestyle of family home or school, ADHD can go unrecognized. Moving into the adult world without treatment, serious challenges emerge. Drawn to risky behaviors that pay out in dopamine, people with ADHD are 3 times more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol than the general population. Difficulty with emotional regulation often comes out as anger and depression. They are also more likely to divorce and struggle to maintain friendships. With low self-esteem and poor time management, 30% of people with ADHD are likely to struggle with chronic unemployment. And in a meta-analysis of 42 studies, it was found that over a quarter of the US prison population met the criteria for ADHD. ADHD can sometimes be a funny condition, but sometimes its consequences are deadly serious. ADHD can be like a radish. Sometimes it stinks, but also adds a nice spice to life. With luck, patience, and persistence, there are many who turn this disorder into a superpower. People with ADHD are often spontaneous, creative, and resilient problem solvers. If channeled right, it enables lateral thinking, risk-taking, extreme empathy, and rapid idea generation. Perhaps thanks to our thirst for stimulation, people with ADHD are often in high-stakes professions, including emergency doctors, nurses, firefighters, police, and rescue teams. There are also many examples of people with ADHD excelling in athletics, entertainment, and entrepreneurship. Many of the world's elite achievers have or appear to have had ADHD. Leonardo da Vinci, Salvador Dali, Justin Timberlake, Joe Rogan, Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps, Jim Carrey, Tim Ferriss, and probably a whole bunch of women too. But historically, they've been largely underdiagnosed, so it's harder to find info on them. More on that in a future video. Not only did these people not grow out of ADHD gave them their edge. I personally believe that people with ADHD have just the mind type we need to navigate our fast-paced and hyper-connected 21st century lives as leaders. The types of minds whose leadership will help us rapidly build a more sustainable and harmonious future. What's the best thing about your unique wiring? And if you're an ADHD adult looking to tap into your superpowers, check the link to my website below where you can find more resources to uncovering your strengths and reach out to see if ADHD coaching is right for you. And of course, please join my Legion of Accountability buddies by sharing your biggest takeaways or lingering questions in the comments below, and giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. Raven is mad at the owl.